time to print it.
And I don't have my phone on me, so
Ian was
I
supposed to be home and he never did show up, so.
can you email Hunter and then we can get it
I
up
did.
on the screen?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was my school email though, I think, because I was logged in.
Okay, we'll start with Marcy.
Okay, so call to order.
When was that?
All right, shall we, if I've got a baby, you gotta take notes.
Oh,
40 minutes.
Because I cannot write right now.
I can submit.
How's your Mars?
Oh,
I'm not as good as a note taker, but I'll do my best.
I'll-
In this rain, everything.
Because I cannot
I'm
get
not
up
sure
this
if
quick
it's
right now.
marked too.
And that's, I think,
If I have it on my Gmail, yeah, okay,
and those
I'll
two
forward
new
it to my
pumps that I
email.
sent out,
My
they're
town.
doing it this year.
They like the emailing.
Garden
Garden
talk.
All right.
We haven't seen each other for a while.
No one wants to talk.
One second.
Did we start
adjourned or
officially?
what?
Did he start it?
Yep,
Yep.
started.
Okay. All right, so approval of minutes from previous. I looked over it since I wasn't here. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Did everyone get it?
Yes.
The email?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Also, last month, we did not approve any minutes because we were missing our president and our treasurer.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. So they are all in the email. There's a big, so I don't know if we want to go ahead and approve all of the other minutes from, from the past.
The previous two.
Yeah.
Someone want to make a motion?
Sure, I approve them.
You make a motion to approve?
Yes.
No second.
All in favor?
Oh,
Okay, great, thank you.
Here's-
I don't know how it
if
goes,
you have
sorry.
a question, previous minutes were up here.
You know what's funny? Michelle, was right after you were talking about Linton's Park.
Hmm.
Kristen
I was there.
was
Texting
there
her.
and she was like
She's like-
telling me all about it. I was like, well, you missed the meeting, but we heard all about it
We
from
went for
Michelle.
fireworks and we were like exercising. I'm like, this is really nice. And Ian, I'm thinking, this is really nice. And Ian's like, this is really nice. This would be really cool.
Well, we took the little ones, the 2 7-year-olds, and we did the whole thing, but
Yeah.
they kept going back to that. And then the splash
Yeah.
pad, which was so generic, but they loved it.
Yeah.
And where's this at?
Linton, at their park.
I think we need to take a parks
Yeah.
board field
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So they still had all, like a lot of the old, because Ian said that, because Ian used to live in town in Linton.
Okay.
And that slide had been there since he was a kid.
With the tunnels under it and everything.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I actually went there back in April for a wastewater training meeting, and they had it in
Pavilion.
that little shelter house building there. And I was looking around, I was like, there's people here during the middle of the
Yes.
day on like a Tuesday.
I think there's always people there.
Yeah.
I liked
It
the
was awesome.
walking path around it, how it was marked, which I don't know if we can enforce that anywhere for us, but I thought that was really, well, we could, let you know how far everyone, because when we were there, we kept seeing people, different people doing that.
Mhm.
But yeah, all day long.
And the concert was there. The concert was going on. when
Oh,
I was
yeah?
there. Yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
was cool. Okay, next on the agenda. Mark?
So I have 3 things to bring before you this evening. One, we had our June 20th EDC Access event that we have. We have EDC Access events every year. We have 2 of them. And in June, we had Crystal Painter, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Discover Southern Indiana, come and be our guest speaker. So the entire EDC Access was all about tourism and attraction for Owen County. So Colleen was very helpful in providing a synopsis of what you all have been working on with the pickleball courts and the basketball court. And I want to make sure and highlight that since we have stakeholders in the room and an opportunity to highlight their great project. So thank you very much for putting that together. And so we were able to do that. And we had that up there on the slideshow, and so everybody could see and just give another update on the great work the Parks and Rec Department's doing. So I just want to make sure to thank you for that. And just the partnership with Discover Southern Indiana is currently paid for by Regional Opportunity Initiatives, which is a $5,000 what that does is that gives Owen County the platform of being exposed throughout the entire Midwest. So they send information to Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, and when people are looking for a place to come, then they're showing them how they can come to Southern Indiana, and there's all these wonderful day trips. And so now Owen County, if you go to the Discover Southern Indiana website, you can see the map there and toggle and see all the stuff, so that's cool.
You're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the next thing is that the Creative Convergence team has been working with the Arts Commission grant for almost 2 years now, right, Hunter, something like that? Not maybe a year and a half, the Creative Convergence team. So we are getting close to the finish line. We just submitted our final grant report to the Arts Commission. It was a $10,000 grant that we received. With those funds, the Creative Convergence team, which Hunter was a part of, decided to move forward on two things. One, creating an arts commission here within Owen County, which we were able to do with those funds. Went ahead and filed for 501c3, created a board of directors. Melody King is the president of that. It meets regularly. She has been very successful already. They've got another grant for crosswalks, so they're working on with local artists, so that's fantastic. But the other portion of the Arts Commission was to hire Ron Taylor and Taylor Seafair Williams to reevaluate the park plan down at Cooper Commons. So this was not the original plan that we gave him. There was a plan in the basement of the Chamber of Commerce that had been done way back, I believe, in 2014. He took that, looked at it, but what he really did, which is fantastic, is he went down and he just walked it, okay? And he just looked at it and was starting to realize, wow, there's a lot of great space here at Cooper Commons. So what, and this was a real hands-on approach, which I absolutely love. So instead of Ron just saying, hey, this is what you should do with your property, okay, all right? He brought ideas to the Arts Commission. We met with the artists at the library. We had 3, no, we had 4 public hearings total to get feedback from them so that they could kind of give ideas and aspects of that. So ultimately, the element that the Arts Commission was working on was this amphitheater area. So you have this music amphitheater area, this area which is the woodlands, which really you don't need to mess with, there's some trees there and everything. Moving the playground over here and expanding it to make it a much bigger playground. Then there's this natural glen right here area, and all of this would be the My Path trail system that goes through it. Again, here's your trailhead to My Path, and here's where your public restroom and everything's going. A canoe takeout right here, going back under here. Keeping this the picnic area so it's quieter if you want to just kind of get with your family and have a picnic, and then have some swings along the river. So really creating some zones where if you want to be playing and you want it to be a little bit louder and having fun, you've got that. But let's say you're over here enjoying a concert and the kids want to play on the playground, you're still able to watch them do that. But then if you want to be quieter, you've got this section over here.
That's
So,
changed.
yeah, it has changed,
Yeah,
okay, which
I
I
like that.
really, really like. And with the amphitheater over here, he also put in these sidewalks so you can see how there's different sections. So let's say you're having a smaller venue. Let's say you have a smaller concert. You don't want like people sitting clear back here. You can make this the seating area. It feels more full. It just gives a different vibe to the event, right? Or you can set people in these 3 sections and put vendors in this section,
Well,
okay?
you still have
So
walkways.
that's right, and you still have walkways. So, and then this becomes a one-way in and out. Try to imagine, I believe right here there's another row, but that's eliminated, okay? But there's extra seating here, or extra parking here for food trucks. And then again, the whole entire thing is really embracing the river, okay? So again, the Arts Commission and the Creative Convergence team, every time they were having discussions with the Arts Commission, the thing that really got their interest was how it's not a matter of if it's going to flood, it's a matter of when it's going to flood, and whatever we do down here, we have to be embracing that. All right, so this is the final design for the amphitheater then, okay?
Whoa.
You like, oh, that's a good response, I love it, I can take that, okay? All right, and again, had a lot of artist feedback on this. It was really important to make sure that we had it covered. There was one that was a beautiful top, but the rain could get through, or the light, and it would affect music and theater. This is going to keep people covered. It has wood on the top to absorb sound. It goes up, so it's sending the sound out towards the river, which again was part of this design, having the amphitheater over here facing the river and also next to the fairgrounds eliminates a lot of sound going into the residential areas, okay? This is important. These walls here that have art on them, this is an opportunity for local artists to constantly be showing off their art with it as well. But at the same time, if you can see backstage, it provides an opportunity for people to, you know, put their sets or their props or, you know, and we discussed. We had one that had like a green room and a restroom in the back. But again, in the flood zone, you really can't have anything like that. So we figured, you know what, you can get a pop-up tent, put a little change here and back there, you can still get things accomplished. And you can hang all of your lights and speakers from this. So you can't have the equipment down there constantly, but anybody that comes in could bring that with them, and it would be easy to go ahead and put that on there. So, and then what I really like too, I'm gonna head back to this one just for a second. If you can look behind the amphitheater, this parking area right here, okay? So it comes off the main street, you've got this little section that's kind of, and you've got trees on this side. So again, you're creating a private spot for people who are going to, the performers, right? Okay. So this is, and Ron Taylor did a fantastic job, and Taylor Seifkin Williams, they did a great job putting all this together. We presented this at the Arts Commission at our last hearing there, public hearing at the, or public meeting at the library, and everybody loved it. So that was fantastic. It was really cool to be here. Everybody loved what you were presenting. So this is one element of a much larger project. And that's the third thing I want to talk about. So I'll go back to this. So this was initially a READY proposal for READY 2 funding for the Eli Lilly Arts and Cultural Grants, which the state has $250 million that they have yet to distribute to any project in the state of Indiana. Even though Owen County was one of 2 projects that were entered for the state of Indiana and one of the first projects to be completed, because the regions weren't ready, they went back and they are working with regions, and regions are putting their full proposals together. So basically there's been consultants that are being paid to go to all these local communities and put arts and cultural plans together, which is great, okay? But at the same time, I'm a pretty competitive person, and we were up front, and so I'm constantly reminding them like, hey, you know, we were ready with that. And the reason that they did that is a lot of the proposals that they got back were not what Eli Lilly was wanting. They're wanting transformational projects that are going to transform the community. And even though a mural is a great way of putting arts and culture into the community, it's not the transformative project. So they're trying to get the communities to think bigger, and we were already thinking big. This is big, right? So the READY proposal that we put together initially, and it feels like it's probably a year now, if not more, was a $4.3 million project to accomplish this, okay? We're not asking for $4.3 million because they're not gonna give you the full amount. You had to come up with match. So there's a like 2.9, I have to check my numbers, amount that we're asking. But it's been so long, and I want to make sure that we get an opportunity to continue to stay at the top. I've communicated with regional opportunity initiatives, and we're going to be able to redo our proposal here going into fall. So I've asked Ron Taylor, I'm like, Ron, I want to make sure that when it is our time to put our proposal in again, that it still puts us to the top. So I've asked them, make sure, don't make any decisions until we're able to put a thorough, making sure we're adding all this new information into our proposal. Because even though I've been sending it to them, I feel like it's fragmented now, right? We had a complete package and I just keep sending them stuff. I want it to be a whole thing that we're proposing to them. So Ron and I talked last week, and so he's now going to be putting a scope of work together for all of this, not just this. So what he did here with the community, which was fantastic in getting us to this point, all right, I'm asking him to do for all of this, specifically making the playground the next element that we work on, okay? And so, because I know that you had mentioned, hey, what do we need to do to keep moving on with that? And anything that we go ahead and invest into this is going towards that match anyhow. So there's not any dollar or penny that's being wasted. We're just going to be putting that towards that ready match. So that's where we're at. Ron Taylor's going to be putting together a scope of work for us. That will cost some dollar amount. I don't know what go to the town council, ask for any of you to be there to support that, who wants to be there, and we will ask for them to go ahead and keep this ball rolling on this. Especially when we have the opportunity to take advantage of the $250 million that still has yet to be distributed. So to conclude, I did have a question for Hunter. When we did the Creative Convergence initially with the Arts Commission, and the team was brought together, I think you had mentioned that this town might put some funding towards this particular project, the amphitheater. As of right now, we are still $8,500 shy of completing that. So I don't know what we need to do there, if we need to bring that before the town council, but that is the gap that we need to cover.
Okay.
So any questions? I just talked your arm off.
I'm just trying to think. Is it, for example, is it a one-time payment of 85,000 or?
No, it's not 85,000, that's a whole different amount.
Or
So-
8,500, so,
8,500, one-time
Sorry.
payment
Yeah.
to finish this particular project up,
okay,
okay?
yeah.
I know the Arts Commission is working on a fundraiser, but this invoice needs to be paid.
I can't speak on behalf of the council, but I feel like they would probably be inclined to,
Assist in any way would be helpful.
absolutely.
Okay, so,
Um,
okay, would you mind bringing that up before the town council then and ask?
Absolutely.
That would be
Take note of
awesome.
that.
Okay, and I can bring this in and put all of them and show how we went from A all the way to the final thing if you'd like. And I'll be here on August 18th if you want to add that to that 18th agenda. That would be some meeting.
Yeah,
Well, you got that, is that the one that you're picking?
This is it, yes, this is the final design, and what I didn't bring
One on
with
the-
me,
On the one on the left that you're.
it's all the same
Oh,
one.
it's all the same?
Mhm.
It didn't look the same.
It's just like, here it is at night, here it is from the back, and you know, here's a side view.
Yeah.
So this is the one, and we have plans for this one now. That was part of the deliverables, is that just not coming up with a really cool design, but also showing what the cost would be and how we would do. This is a prefabricated, which we intentionally asked for a prefabricated design because a prefabricated design is gonna be a lot cheaper than us going and making it from scratch.
Yeah, one looks like a hip rip, the other looks like a flat rip.
It's
an interesting
definitely,
angle.
yeah, it's just an angle.
Yeah.
Angle?
That
Yeah.
bottom right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way you're looking at it too, I mean, imagine the flood's going through, there's nothing that's gonna stop that water.
No.
But there's nothing that's gonna get damaged either.
Right, right. That's
So-
cool. Okay, I have a question about, you said the scope of work for the next element, which is the playground.
Yes,
So he's gonna put together a plan. It looks like the design, flip it, do me a favor and
Yeah.
flip it over.
Yep.
So if we're talking specifically the playground, so is that like a water theme going on there, river theme?
I
Or
would
did you
suggest
just
that
throw
if
in?
we're looking to get ready funds for Eli Lilly, the thing that they were most interested in was how we were going to become one with our river, okay? And show how we put the right landscaping in here, how we embrace the water, how we embrace the flooding. The more we can make this a river theme,
Yeah.
the more that will be appealing to them.
Quick question, the paved roadway there, is that going to be impervious surface or is it going to be pervious surface?
Concrete,
Concrete?
concrete.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's gonna be a lot of concrete and steel, but at the same time, I mean, obviously not the playground for it, but, have you ever been to the Louisville, have you ever been to Louisville and been down to the park on the river? Louisville? Okay. Awesome playground, I mean, we can't go to that extreme, but I mean, there's like a paddle boat thing, there's bridges, so, I mean, it just looks like you're in little Louisville, okay? And it really does embrace the environment that it's in, that's what we're going for, we need to really embrace this environment. And you can go crazy, or you can go just a little bit bigger than what we have, and I'm like, we still need to make this a destination. So we can't go crazy expensive, we have to back off of that, but we wanna make sure that, I wanna go down to the river to take my kids. This needs to be a destination.
So can the Parks Board apply for grants as well for this?
Not for the, you can, separate
For
funds.
the playground.
Yeah, for the playground. So this is where I would really like the Parks Department's partnership.
Okay.
When Ron starts narrowing down what this is gonna be and how much it's gonna cost and what's gonna be
Yes.
here, okay? Which, I mean, all that we know now is we want a playground, okay? But I'm like, I gotta have specifics, cause I gotta have a plan for us to be able to move forward on. Once we start getting specifics, then yes, the Parks
Yes.
Department can start applying for grants for those specific things.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And again, whatever we get just goes towards that match for Eli Lilly. So,
To finish that up, I would put water fountains in that river.
that would be fantastic. Water feature, trust me, I've been through the water features and everything. I heard you talking about splash pad. That would be awesome, but because it's in a flood zone, that's probably not gonna happen, unfortunately.
If the Parks Department was to maintain that, or to obtain the extra little corner part of our park, is it possible that a water feature could go bigger? Or is that still in the flood zone?
So that's considered,
So-
that's still considered a 100-year flood
Where are we
zone.
talking about?
North
We
of,
only have this,
Uh-huh.
this.
Oh, that
and
section there.
okay.
I mean, it's not
Let me-
super big.
Let me rephrase that. You can put a water feature in the 100-year
Oh,
flood
okay.
way, once the floodway, but the floodplain. However, it has to be noted on the water feature that it is not fit for consumption. It has to be non-potable water. So you have to have your own pump there that recycles water. So that wouldn't be very clean. And even if you tell people don't touch the water, they're
Really get underneath it. You could create just a really cool fountain,
right.
That's
okay? And
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
what I
whole
was-
different story.
similar to what, right?
Now you're not talking,
Yeah.
now you're talking water feature, and that's the terminology you wanna use.
And like I said, you still have to use non-potable water, so you would have to have some kind of apparatus that contains non-potable water that recycles it back and forth, because BBP is not gonna hook that on, because it's going, what the issue is that if you feed drinkable water into a feature, you're going to have some water kind of come back into the line, and that's part of the issue.
Okay.
Especially with flooding, because if you have flooding coming into your water lines, that's not a good thing.
But a really cool big fountain is a whole different ballgame. But you know what I'm talking about, like if there's just a whole bunch of drains and then there's running, that's probably not gonna happen in this flood area, but you put a fountain, it's just different.
Yeah, exactly. It's possible.
Have you talked to, Jamie Bingham with the Soil and Water about, like, you said working with our landscape?
Oh, yeah, that
You
was
know,
part
like
of the, that was
native,
part of the
all
Creative
of that
Convergence
stuff.
team, so
Yeah.
our water's already on board.
Great.
Thinking eventually we'll be figuring out what plants that will go here will help absorb
So
that
Yeah.
why-
and would lean into it, right?
Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. That parking on the west side is really interesting and very cool
I
because,
like that. So is that 5 shelter houses that could potentially be rented out?
These are sources of revenue, that is correct.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I wanted to bring up regarding that is that when we build shelter houses like that, we need to have a form created for rentals. So that the Parks Board can generate some passive income. Currently, we don't have those. It's basically a first come, first served type of basis. I never really understood that. But
I mean, it's not gonna be much, it might
No.
cover your gas money for mowing the place, right, but it's
Well,
something. Ultimately, what you were hoping to do is to get a park where maybe a few people are down there every now and then, to, like you said, it was a Tuesday and you were in Linton and people were there, right? You want there to be people here all the time, because that makes it safer,
Yep.
and that also is a place of attraction, so it brings people into the community to, now go get a coffee, or go and have lunch, or spend money elsewhere,
they get a pizza and bring it down there.
That's right.
absolutely.
so.
Yeah.
What are all of the orange or yellow squares right next to the
Those
shelter?
picnic tables.
These picnic tables.
Oh,
Mhm.
that makes sense.
I was wondering the same thing.
Little teeny tiny bird's eye view picnic tables. So,
I
so
mean, it
thank
makes
you.
sense.
That is very cool. Do you have this in electronic?
I do.
Sorry,
I
that's
have a
not
digital version of this. I can send this to
Can you
Hunter.
please?
Hunter got to remind me to send it to you, but I can send it to you.
I'll forward it down.
Okay.
Ultimately, the first opportunity that we'll have to resubmit our proposal will be sometime this fall. That's what I'm told. So the more information I get, the more information I'll share, but we've just been in a holding pattern, and that's part of it, right? Sometimes that's part of the process. I just want to make sure that we're ready when they give us the green light.
Please keep us in the loop.
I will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you think the maintenance on something like
That was actually part of the proposal, because they wanna know if there would be a job that would be created.
Created?
And so I believe in the original proposal, there's actually 2 part-time jobs created to maintain this. Mhm.
So that'd be good.
Yeah,
And there's electric at the amphitheater.
there is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They have to just put it up higher,
Yeah.
which is what they did at the
That's
shelter.
why it's-
Yeah.
That's why it's here
Yeah.
as well, because we were thinking, well, let's put it down here, you know, but it's gotta stay up closest to this road as possible for those reasons.
And then in each of the shelter houses as well? Or are those too close?
Maybe.
Okay.
Was there something I mentioned about somebody having a canoe rental that would be upstream?
So that would be
Coming down?
fantastic. I mean, we have lots of people who are interested in connecting the Gosport takeout to Spencer.
Okay,
And so, I mean, when I was a little girl, there was a canoe rental down at the river, and my
Oh,
brother
yeah.
lived there all summer, and that was fantastic. If we could somehow rebuild that and make that an attraction for all the campers coming back to McCormick's Creek eventually, I think that'd bring a lot of people in too.
I don't think it'd be hard to do that, even if you had a short trip from the park.
Oh,
coming
yeah,
down.
yeah.
You know, the park would be interested in doing that.
So I'll tell you a story. My husband now, but my fiance at the time and I did a little R&D, and we thought, well, you know, we're going to see if you actually can canoe from Gosport to down here. And what I thought was going to take 2 hours took us 5.5, and I had a leak in my kayak. So,
Oh, my
but
goodness.
you can do it.
Yes,
But yeah, we need a
Yeah.
shorter trip. But yeah, that would be really awesome if we could have like a water trail along my path trail, right?
yeah,
So,
Yay,
yeah.
thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you. You guys have a good evening.
You
Good
too.
luck.
Yeah.
Thank you for getting that on the agenda. And again, Hunter, if it needs to be on the 18th, but I'm here for the mainstream, that's fine too.
That's fine. I'll bring it up at the next meeting.
All right, thank you. I'll send you the invoice if you'll email me.
Absolutely, thank you.
She's so cute.
Man, that's
She's
great.
so friendly. She reminds me a lot of Clara.
That's it. I'm surprised she's not in there with the girls. All right. Owen County Community Foundation Endowment Fund is next.
Okay, so, Janet had the $100,000, a check sent to the town, so, for the project. There was some excess from just extra donations, so all in all, so right after we hit the $50,000, public contributions, and then we got that extra 5,000 from Babs. So we were at like 55-ish. I have to look at exact numbers, but I don't have it in front of me. And then once I looked at the final number, so Patron SED did take out fees for those who did not cover the fees when they did it online. So all in all, with everything, you know, we got about 52,000-ish in there.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. Hold on, maybe my numbers are a little bit off. But anyway, we had some excess. And Janet was wondering what we should do with that, if we wanted to clear out the account, close it, and just give everything to the town. She said, you know, you could do an endowment fund for the parks. I said, ooh, tell me more about that. I wasn't quite familiar with it. But endowment fund is basically, you have a certain amount of time where you have to get to like $3,000 in there as just the base, and then you make money off of the interest, and you
Oh, that's cool.
can, yeah, just use the interest. So I said, yes, sign us up, as long as you guys, I guess I'll make a motion to see if you guys all approve doing an endowment fund for the parks through
Is
the
that just like,
community foundation.
oh, through the community?
I will say, when you set up an endowment, depending on how it's set up, you can't use the entire amount of
No,
money.
you
in
can't.
it.
Right.
Yeah, so it basically, I think it's like, what, 10%?
I don't know the details.
I'd have to ask Janet about it, but for numbers' sake, let's just say it's 10%, and say we have $52,000 sitting in that endowment. Every year you would receive $5,000 essentially to
Yeah.
put toward different projects. So, I mean, technically you could allow it to build up and then use that money full, which is a really good idea.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you got this money and so forth, but when the project is completed, is that money gonna be needed for anything before we make the jump and put it in the foundation fund? I think you're jumping the gun here on what we might need.
Oh, maybe I'm not understanding your question.
Like contingency, right? Like if
Contingency,
it's over
right.
budget, we might need that money right now.
Yeah, it's possible. There's not much in there. Like, and we can, I'll have to get you exact
Yeah.
numbers, and then we can talk
Because
specifics.
as
Yeah,
these plans go along, they
Sure.
change and
Yes.
there you,
absolutely, yes.
and if you've got your money tied up there, then we're up again to raise more money.
100%, yes.
Like I said, you can have it written in a way that you can use as much as you want, but it essentially sits in a fund and generates you money.
Okay, you got a point there.
But
Okay.
it just depends on how it's set up.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
I think best case is to talk to Janet, see how
Yes.
that endowment would work.
Yep.
So that we can kind of figure out how to move forward.
Yep.
We should get-
Because,
Go ahead.
I brought this up because she has people who keep coming to her saying, how can I contribute? How can I contribute? So,
Oh,
That's super cool.
yes, so it feels like a good fit. Hey, people wanna support the parks
yeah.
when we're not doing like a fundraising effort and they wanna go ahead and do that, I say that would be
Well,
a
can we
good.
find out about that and how we can set it up and so forth, and then email all of us and,
Yeah.
and just go from there?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you can put it in the
because
notes.
if we
we'll
don't
take a
set that
vote.
up right, we're in
after.
trouble, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
after we get more information, email.
I can probably reach out to Janet tomorrow.
You know, I emailed her this morning,
Oh,
but I forgot my phone, so I've been gone all day, I don't know if she responded. So I will get you information as soon as I know. Okay,
Yeah, if you have any information on that, let me know.
yes, 100% will.
Okay, I think we worked that one. Okay.
Here's notes. You'll
Right.
figure it out.
I've been adding stuff to the
You
agenda,
guys are
so
great.
you can.
That is all I had for me. We need to, can we divide and conquer thank you notes? I was gonna design a little, maybe you guys, you crafty people can help, but just maybe on Canva, just a
Good postcard, thank you.
postcard thank you, or
And
just even
we did get I mean, we should also do thank you notes, but we did get thank you notes.
from the community foundation, yes. I feel like we should anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
I was kind of waiting until maybe we had some progress pictures we could add, make into a
Yeah.
postcard, or even the final, but I want to send out a card
I have the
sooner
next
than later.
thing, a groundbreaking ceremony, because I know we mentioned it, and then I wasn't here last month, and then.
Ooh, okay,
We
Maybe.
talked about it in the town council meeting.
did you, okay,
Yeah, and I was going to bring that up.
Okay.
Since,
Is now a good time?
I mean, we should probably be looking at doing that in the next month.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be breaking ground, what, August?
I don't know, tomorrow is the pre-construction meeting, so if you guys are interested and want to come, the pre-construction meeting is tomorrow at 4. And that's just meeting with all the contractors and Cecil, and
Where does that happen at?
that's at the site. So there's no need for you to come. If you want to come, you're more than welcome to. So,
Yeah, I'll take some notes if
yeah.
you can't make it, I'll send it. Are you done?
I'll be there, yeah. So, groundbreaking. I guess it depends on when they say they're actually gonna start.
Yeah,
And we'll probably find out tomorrow.
yeah, so I would say tentatively, we just set it for early August, but if they are, yeah, I mean, it's technically Friday, but.
Oh my gosh, okay.
But, as soon as we find out when they're gonna start, I will send a message to all of you and just kind of keep you informed, and we can just ad hoc figure it out.
At the town meeting, we talked about it too, and we want to be sure to get the new get going on this thing.
Okay.
Cause I think you're right, and your afterthought, people wanting to start donating again. And, yeah, that's good. We gotta keep it working.
This summer has been flat out with kids. I've had
Oh,
not
yeah.
much time to
Yeah.
do much of anything. So I'm excited for school to start and then jumping back into it.
It's hard for me to grasp my thoughts around this thing that's happening.
Yes. It's very cool.
It's great.
What else did you have on your agenda?
I saw in the meeting notes from last time that it was mentioned that the girls needed cleaned. Is that going to happen?
It was a discussion and I don't know what happened.
So there was a discussion, so I worked with Sam Hobbs to have a fire truck that the county highway
Yeah.
had purchased from Patricksburg. But they were gonna drop our street department guys were going to drop a chlorine tablet into a big tanker and spray it off the equipment down there, but essentially there was a discussion from one of the head honchos down there that was like, we've never done that in 30 years, why would we start now? And it was kind of one of those things that like, do we fight this or do we let it go? And it just turned into a big nothing burger essentially. So they've never been sprayed off, and I'm one that's like, we probably should in the future, but at this point it's,
So we should probably just establish some conversation going forward now that we are in the modern day age.
yeah,
And we have the accessibility to do something that's not terribly hard to do just to satisfy that.
right.
We probably should.
And it's super diluted chlorine water essentially, so, I mean, it's not going to cause any issues.
Was that for the grill?
It's for all playground equipment.
Okay, so the playground never did
grills.
get sprayed.
No,
Okay.
none of it got sprayed. Picnic tables, that kind of stuff, just trying to, make it sanitary, but.
So how do we go about setting up like a protocol or expectations or
So,
best practice?
I think, we could technically write like an SOP from the Parks Board side of things and be like, have an agreement with the town saying this is what we expect. Here's how we want this done in the event of a flood. Here's what we want done to clean equipment, et cetera. And just kind of figure that out. Anything else that we can kind of think of as far as emergencies or closures of the park, that kind of stuff. We need to probably write a protocol of some kind just to be like, this is what we expect from the town to do on our behalf, and here's what we will provide.
Are there any documents like this that exist?
No.
No? Okay.
So,
Or at least none that I've seen.
so it's reasonable to expect to set something like that
Right.
up, as we're responsible for a bigger budget,
I will.
bigger parcels.
I will tell you a lot of the things that I run into is, well, we've never done that. And it's like, okay.
Let's start somewhere.
Now it's time
Right.
to, people don't like change, yeah.
Yeah, and it's understandable, but it's
That's not-
it's for a good thing.
Yes, and for that wasn't like it was gonna, cost a bunch of labor hours or take a long time to do that,
Yeah, it's gonna make,
so I don't,
probably
shouldn't be a
take
big deal.
an hour or two to
Right.
spray it all off, and that's all we were asking for. It wasn't like we were going, like, you need to go in there with some
Toothbrush.
pledge and we need you to seal all of the picnic tables with some stain and everything.
I have a quick question,
Yeah.
kind of changing around, circling back to Linton, because I noticed, I was surprised to they had trash cans in their park, all through the park, and I was like,
Yeah.
are we going to do anything with that?
We have trash cans down there.
Tells you how much I paid attention.
There's a couple.
There.
4 or 5.
Because I noticed that it was nice and neat and clean, and I didn't see any trash
Yeah.
when I was there, and I was like, well, that's neat, and then I can see why, there's trash cans intermittent.
Yeah, there's trash cans all around the square. There's
And
trash
you're down,
cans
yeah.
down at the park. I'm trying to think of. I don't think there's any. Well, there might be some toward the library or library.
The guild,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, you're good.
Hmm?
You're
Oh, thank you.
She's not even sharing with
A
anyone.
baby.
No,
I know it.
Why
does
would
somebody
you?
else want her? I'll pass her
She's
off.
asleep.
Oh, she'll be fine.
Really?
Oh yeah, she'll be fine. She'll go right back to sleep.
If somebody else wants her, I don't wanna be a baby hog. Bobby.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one penny anytime now, so I gotta get
Aw.
practice.
One big stretch.
Oh my goodness.
I got my baby fix. That was good. Thank you.
That's my non-baby smile. Yes, I see the red
Real
and white.
doll.
Precious.
Okay.
I could
I
tell
know,
her.
I just feel like the health department, sooner or later, it's gonna turn on the light bulb for
I
them,
will.
for that down
I can just
there.
rip it out too.
Yeah. It's inevitable.
I was gonna say, I think, I could probably write a basic SOP and share it on Google Drive or
We look
something.
at it next meeting, maybe?
Put that on the agenda for next time. Oh, one thing, I'm gonna email everybody the final specs for the court project. Just to, if you guys wouldn't mind, see, it's really throwing me off because the big copy went missing. So one of our construction documents, like, it's been missing from the beginning. Cecil dropped one off and then it kind of poof, disappeared.
Oh yeah, I remember that we could never find it.
Yeah.
I remember he set it on that table, and then I came in one day and it was gone.
Yeah,
Gone?
And I was like, oh, what happened?
yeah.
So I've been looking at it.
So I fully intended for us to kind of look over everything. So I'm gonna email them to you. If we can kind of have some eyes on it, looking at all the little
Yeah.
details, because I know we had mentioned last time about like a chain basketball net.
Mhm.
I don't know what details they have in there at this point, but I think it's probably too late to make any changes, but just so we can have our eyes on that.
Can we get that duplicated? Surely there's a copy somewhere.
They're just really expensive to print.
Are they?
Yeah.
The big construction,
ones.
yeah.
Let me see if I can have,
Maybe Cecil will bring another one down.
see if I
It
can.
would be like $8 for an Office Depot. It's just black ink on white paper. Well, there was two, I used to work at Office Depot. There was a nice big printer and then there was like just the standard printer for construction document.
Yeah.
It wasn't that much. I mean, I'm sure that to them, they don't wanna keep printing them for people.
I feel like when we printed them, when we built our building, it was like
Well, I used to
$75
have-
or something ridiculous. But maybe I'm just making that up.
Used to have one in the courthouse, and I don't know what happened to it. From mapping, we did big maps.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they still got it or don't have
I
it.
don't have any engineering plans in email form. I just have the contract information.
I will email it to you. I know I have it somewhere. And then, anyway, if we could all just kind of look at it. And, yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Well, since there's no one here from the public, do you have anything else to add?
My computer died, so.
Does that mean our live stream is?
No, it's not. No, we're good.
Okay.
I'll just put it back.
Is there any other things that you guys thought of? We're not on the agenda?
I guess I'll ask what are we thinking of with a groundbreaking ceremony?
Yeah, what does that look
That is essentially, you would have, I mean, essentially members of the Parks Board would be down there. Town council members would be down there to kind of say a little thing about the park project and how, what their entire scope of work is, anything else they would want to say. But then essentially your president, generally speaking, it's a president and a few other members of the board. If you want to do everyone that's on the board, everyone would have a shovel and then they just kind of stick it in the ground and pull off a piece of dirt. That's pretty much it. So we can videotape it and put it on Facebook. We can put it on YouTube. There's a lot of different things we can do. But yeah, we'll have the Owen News down there. As soon as I find out what that date is, I will reach out to Nicole and let her know.
So it doesn't have to be like a big public to do.
No.
Okay.
You can. It just depends on what you really want to do. I mean, you can have open to the public, or you can have it just be like a small private ceremony type of thing.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
I think with us not knowing exactly when it's going to occur, I think the easier route is just be like, have it a private ceremony and just.
And start hoping for the best.
Videotape it and put it on Facebook if you want.
If we could, if it's possible, so if we have our construction meeting tomorrow, and then we find out when they're gonna start,
Mhm.
we could potentially get a date tomorrow
Tomorrow.
afternoon in time to put in the Owen News for
Oh, yes.
August, cause they, well, what's the
Today's the 27th.
28th?
They wrap their papers, what, the first Friday of the month?
What's Friday? This
It's the
Friday?
first.
It's the first, shoot.
This
We're-
Friday
we're
is
like,
the third, or no, yeah, you're right.
yeah, so it would have to
Thursday
been,
is the 31st.
Yeah.
it would have had to been Friday, so never mind, scratch that. But they can share it on Facebook and whatnot. The O News can.
Anything else? Okay,
You need a chair.
Who wants to make a
motion.
motion?
Make a motion to end the meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
6:52.